companies face lawsuits which cost the company millions of dollars every year. And why is that? Because the companies, they have bad policies. They don't know what they're doing, right? They need to follow so many regulations, they totally lost the overview. And the poor guy, the compliance officer, is the one who's responsible for this mess. And his problem is that he has too much information, too little time, and no budget.
We came up with deepReg. deepReg helps the companies to save a lot of money. It does that by helping them avoid costly lawsuits. By giving an overview of regulatory data, it helps the compliance officer to understand and make sense of the regulations and to come up with more precise and correct policies in the end. It also helps to save a lot of time because the officer doesn't need to go through the whole document anymore. He only needs to read through the parts which deepReg thinks are important. He can then give back feedback to deepReg and make it more intelligent with time. The company, on the other hand, can extract the knowledge of the officer and hand it over to another employee. So now let's have a look at how this works in practice.
Yeah, let's see how deepReg can really help the compliance officer to make sense of the regulatory data. So on the right, you see all the relevant documents for the guy, and he can basically extract topics from these documents and represent them in a structured way, like in this graph here on the left. It shows all the documents and all the concepts that have been extracted from the text so that the compliance officer cannot overlook a very important document that he might have otherwise forgotten maybe. And he can even jump directly into the document, and deepReg will intelligently suggest him snippets of the text which then can be turned into regulations by the officer. And he can even feed back his own knowledge back to the software so the software can learn over time and improve its performance. And let's disrupt the RegTech industry. Thank you very much.